not being able to perform live in front of people, I had this weird moment where I was like, I thought I was a musician, but maybe I'm more of a performer. Because I love writing music. I love working with a band, but I think the carrot dangling at the end of the stick has always been sharing it with other people. So when that element was removed, I was like, well, now what, right? So I found that burlesque has kind of been supplementary to being able to connect with audiences in a wider range, which I appreciate. I need it, you know?
So from a psychological perspective, and now I'm just asking you to take a leap based on what you think worked for you there.
Mm-hmm.
Finding that greater sense of connectivity to your own body, but also being able to really believe that your partner finds you desirable,
Mm-hmm.
and like believe it.
Yeah.
What was the connection between getting up on stage, not to play music,
Mm-hmm.
but to entertain people with your body?
Yeah. I almost think maybe it's the same, but just less words and less having to haul my own gear. You know? Yeah. It's interesting. Like, I think about my relationship with my partner and truly seeing my value and my worth, and then also seeing that in audiences where there's not an intimate, long-term, years-long connection. It's very like quick, flash in the pan, but having them approve and appreciate me in that moment, it's like this weird roundabout way of like approaching transgender rights that I had not conceived of before, where I'm like, you might have never seen a transgender person before, but now I'm gonna do this silly dance for you and you're gonna love me. I'm like, maybe this is another route we can take, you know? Maybe we can appeal to like people's most animalistic senses and make allies, you know? Who knows?
First of all, that's super cool. Second, I really like that idea where kind of straddling that space of like, I like performing. Part of the way that I perform is through music and, you know, all the stuff associated with the band. But that idea of just being on stage, and I know you were joking earlier about loving attention, but there is something about that exchange with an audience that can be ultra therapeutic, like really therapeutic. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with like, here are these lyrics I've written about this painful thing or this record I wrote during this difficult part. It can really literally just be about being seen and being afraid to be seen, but doing it anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I think about like if you or I were completely alone on like a deserted island and we were writing these songs or making this art, like, yeah, great. But like, I don't know if like our humanity is ever like reflected back to us when it's just us in isolation, right? It's nice to have these things go out into the world and then we see how people react and respond to it. And like, to me, I'm like, I don't know, I get full Pinocchio. I'm like, now I'm a real boy. Because you've seen this and you've witnessed it. Yeah. It doesn't live in my head any longer. I don't know.